Hello and welcome back to Bear Trader. Today I will review the indices and crude oil, dollar, gold, lumber, and 20 years bond ETF TLT. All right, so now let's check S&P 500 SPX. Okay. So, I think there was probably a look at this maybe a week ago, but let's check all this out, and then we always try to look at it with what we have, and we also try to reset our mind. All right, so what is the red line? The red line is basically the resistance from March all the way to June, and now it's act as a support for now. So I will change it to green, okay? And then for the short term, from May into September, you can see it's been bouncing between the orange. So right now you can see for short term is overbought, the same as long term, and it's right at the support here. Normally at the support I would say, oh, we might have a bounce, but that bounce probably, maybe I would say 25% to 30%. So if it bounces, we might see 65, 50. Okay. But I do see it's gonna pull back to probably about 63.55. Oh yeah, I put it wrong. Should be 65.50. So here is 63.50. Okay, and then it's gonna bounce a little bit, and then pull back to probably 6300. Actually, it might even go lower to 6240. Okay, so this is more possible, more probable for S&P 500. SPY, okay. Let's take these out. Pretty much the same thing. And if it's come down, we might see it's 625. Okay, and then it bounced a little bit, and then come down to here. Why 612 is, you can see, is over here, the last high. All right, next would be Nasdaq. Nasdaq again, pretty much the same. Gonna go down to 20,720. 720, and then bounce, and then coming back to 22,200. That's what I'm seeing. You can see it's pretty similar to S&P 500. And what I'm seeing, this is more probable because you can see this is the support from long term coming up, and most likely we'll see it here. For Nasdaq, you can see it's actually a little bit weaker than S&P 500 due to the recent selling of the Max 7. So it's get affected, and we might see a little bit more downside. QQQ, pretty much the same story. Coming down to here, bounce a little bit here, and then most likely not down to, this is a bit too far away. I would say the next level would be right here. That's about 238. Okay, so that is my prediction short term for QQQ. All right, next is Dow Jones. So Dow Jones is a little bit different. So let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. So I predicted was from here, a pullback, and then bounce, right? So you can see it pull back a little bit, not all the way here, but here, and then bounce. But this is the same level. All right, so now, next will be here, and then a bounce a little bit, and then pull out further. This time I would say 44,400. Just to keep it, this is the gap here, right? So most likely it will come down here. This is the support of the trend, and also here is the support in last the previous high. So it should bounce and then break down further. Russel 2000, it pulled back just a little bit, not as much as I suspected, and then bounce, right? So now I also think you're gonna go down to 231, bounce a little bit, and then pull back to probably right here or right here at 226 or 225. Yeah, that's probably 225. All right, so this is what we are talking about in a couple weeks from now. So this will be more more to look at. Next is crude oil. Right, crude oil, it was from here, I believe. So I say, okay, we got two paths. Either break above, come back, and then rally. Or we pull back and then rally. Either way, it should go back to $67 to $68.50. So let's put it 68. All right, so here we got a little bit of a move flag here. So it might go up to 68 and it's taking this path. So we will see how it is. But right now you can see it's moving sideways and trying to change the direction of the short term. Even though it's a little bit overbought, we might have a little bit come up here to 868, pull back a little bit, maybe 65, and then bounce higher. So that is the path I'm thinking I'm gonna hit. Dollar. So dollar, it did not rally and then pull back as I expected. Basically, it just moved sideways. But if I now let's look at the so the red line basically is resistance. Green line will be support. So right now for this trend line, you can see is broke lower. So most likely it will come back to test it. All right, and I don't know if it's gonna go up or it's gonna go pull back to this resistance. Support. And here it might bounce and then come up here at 100. As you know, predicting is not really considered a good thing because you don't know where the market going, and it is sometimes it's almost impossible. So we just look at one at a time and see how it is. But for the short term, very, very short term, if I use this, right, and then this, we looking at the wedge, and most likely it will break out, and when it's break out, it will come up and test 100. Oh, it's a little bit too high, but this is 101, so yeah, one. Okay. Or it can come up, break out, and then come back to test the resistance line. For gold, looks like it might be testing 3600, and right now is actually making all-time high, breaking the resistance here. However, Back here we got the support, long-term support. Well, not that long, but about a year something support. And recently it became resistant. And look at it. It just touched it, right? So we might see a bounce, a pullback here, and then bounce again. Like this, right? But if the stock market is coming down like a lot, people will sell gold. So it might come back to 3,400 and maybe even break lower than this support here. I would call it midterm support. So let me put it green, right? And basically go even lower. I would say the low might go as low as 3,200 when that happens. Next will be lumber. So it was around here, I believe, when I did the last week. So it was here. And I said, oh, maybe we might have, because it was really oversold, we might have a quick pullback, right? And then, rally up a little bit, bounce, and then pull back even more. And my range was 560, but looked like it went lower. And you can see the bear flag played out. So, and also it's filled up this gap. So next step, I would say we will have a pullback and then fill up this gap as well. So we don't know, right? So right now, if I remove these, and then I put this as the resistance, it will come up there and then maybe coming down even lower to 538. Okay, so this is 580. Okay, unless the situation with the home builder get better, lumber might go even lower. Now, if we look back, you can see this as the low, and then this is our low, and these are high and high. So 538 is actually a good support. Let's say instead of bouncing here, it went even lower to 538 and then we will bounce. So let me see, it might bounce like this. Okay, so we have two scenarios. Okay, so either is bounce back later this week, hit, and then pull back, or you're gonna come back here and then bounce again. So we will see how it works. But either way, I see more chance of a bounce than even pull back more. So, but it's only $10 away, so we have to see how it played out. So this current trend has been broken, and if I look at the high to this high, and then low to, I don't know, this low, the trend is very steep, but we might have a bounce soon. All right, TLT, last thing. I expected a, I think it was from here. Here, I think. Bounce back and then pull back down. But it bounced only a little bit to 87 instead of 88 something, and then pull back already. If I look at this now, see. So now the trend is actually becoming a wedge. So most likely we will have a bounce next. Maybe here, as I predicted last time, and then come down and then bounce up again. Okay, something like that. And it's as about 89. So look like we're gonna trend a little bit higher but sideways, and might go for a little bit like a month. All right, thanks for watching. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.